What's going on, guys? It's Kyle Carroll from MyMMAnews.com and Carroll's Corner MMA podcast. I am live with Ricardo Henderson, who'll be fighting at Cage Wars this in 2 weeks. Ricardo, how you doing?
What's going on, boss?
I'm doing very well. You got a big fight coming up against Austin Shoop. Tell us how you feel going into this fight.
I ain't gonna lie, I feel real good. I've been starving for a fight. I've been really since the pandemic. I really ain't do nothing. So when they told me that everything was starting to go, I've been going full-fledged, going 4 or 5 times a day working out, no days off.
Awesome. And you'll be fighting Saturday night, June 26th in a catchweight 180 pounds fight against Austin Shoop. Tell us what you know about Austin. I know he's a tall, lanky guy. Tell us what you expect from him and what you know about him.
Well, he's super tall. He's super tall, so he's definitely gonna have reach on me. But as far as reach, now you see, he's a mid-range striker. He likes to stand up and strike. So I definitely see him throwing kicks. I definitely see that going on. But I really just plan on keeping my distance on him, like not getting in his range and then getting back in my range where I can land my shots. But just playing, being cautious and not getting in his way. I don't know how strong he is. Don't matter to me. But as far as tangling up us wrestling, I don't believe he can deal with my strength.
Awesome. Now you're 2-1 in your amateur career. You lost your first fight and then you rebounded with 2 great wins. Tell us what was the difference from your first fight to your second and third fight?
The difference, this is what happened in my first fight. I didn't know going into my first fight that I couldn't hit the guy on the ground. When I get him on the floor, I couldn't hit him in his face. And that's really how I fight. Like, I'm ground and pound type guy. So, the whole first fight, that first fight, I was slamming him all over the place. I still feel like I won. I don't feel like he did anything to me. But I didn't know no submissions at that time. I was fresh out of the streets. I was fresh home up doing 10 years. So I was just going into that fight. I was going to slam him, get on top of him, and pound him out. But when we were in the back, they gave everybody a speech saying that you can't hit them on the ground. So when they said that to me, I was stuck. I was like, what? Now how do I win? I got to stand up and strike with them. So really, I wasn't prepared for that fight. When it said and done, like I wasn't prepared, and I wasn't even prepared endurance-wise, getting ready for that fight. I just was running, doing boxing tactics, and just going off the top of my head what would make me ready for the fight, not really knowing that there's really things called fight and training. There's really fight and training to be ready for a fight. So I just wasn't really prepared. But then after that fight, bounced back to my next 2 fights. My second fight, I got to Renzo Gracie. I learned submissions. I learned what I could do. And, once I learned it, my second fight, I tapped him out first round. Then my third fight, I was able to fight the way I like to fight, get on top of you and pound you out. And I was able to do it. So as soon as I was able to do it, as soon as the opportunity presented itself, that's what I did.
Absolutely. And you've done improved drastically. You can tell the amount of work you put in those fights. Getting to commentate them is always a pleasure. Tell us what inspires you inside and outside of the cage to keep you doing this, to keep you going every day.
What inspires me for real is I fought my whole life. And one day, like I said this before, like, to see if I got what it takes against people that actually trained against this makes me keep going. Like my first fight, I didn't feel I lost. So I went for the second fight because in my mind, I'm like, even when I fought him, I'm like, yo, he can't really like if it in my mind after that fight, my first fight, I was like, yo, if we fought in the streets, I would have beat the shit out of him. Like that's how I thought. If I fought him in the street, I know I would have beat the shit out of him. So, and then my second fight, when I learned the submission, I was like, okay. And then just training wise, when I'm training with dudes, like certain big things become natural to me. So it really just comes from I just want to see what I just want to see what can happen from this. Just from me regular street fighting to learning how to fight in a professional setting. How far what do I really got inside of me? Can I make it to Bellator? Can I make it to UFC? Or is it just really a fling? But honestly, like as I keep moving forward in my career, keep going to different training camps, different gyms, I'm starting. Phone wrong. Somebody called me.
Oh,
Um, yeah. I really see that as I keep going to different gyms that I got what it takes to fight anybody.
absolutely. And you're definitely touted, I believe, as one of the up and coming prospects. And like I said before, we could see the drastic changes in your skill level going up every time you fought.
Thank you.
How has MMA and martial arts in itself changed your life, and what kind of meaning does it have in your life?
I want to say this as far as martial arts, boxing, jiu-jitsu, all that. It gave like I come from the street. You feel me? So like, it gives me a how can I say this? It just gives me a different life story. Fighting just gives me a different life story because I could easily just be in the streets, go back to jail, or end up dead, or just whatever happened. I could easily go back to that. But this right here keeps me focused. This keeps me out of being in my hood, out of just being around people. It really just keeps me away from certain people, places, and things. Like to train and get ready for a fight takes it all. When you're all done, when you're working a job and then you're training, you don't got time to be in the bars. You don't got time to hang around unnecessary people. So it really just it's really like a safe haven for me. It's really like a safe haven for me, for real. If I really thought about it, like, because all the time I'm spending on working out, jiu-jitsu, boxing, I could be sitting in my hood chilling and, anything can happen.
Absolutely.
So really, I'll definitely say boxing, jiu-jitsu, mixed martial arts, it saved my life as far as like re-entering society after I did my bid. Jail saved my life, but this really saved my life. And it might make me something.
Awesome. It's amazing what can do to you. Now, what are your goals for this? Well, MMA, like, what are your amateur goals, your short-term goals? What do you want to do for how many fights you want to get in the short term? Obviously, the shortest term is the next fight you want to win. And then long term, what do you want to do with it? How long until you want to turn pro? And then we'll go from there.
Really, I would have to say that I would really ask my trainer, Tommy Marcelino, what he would want me to do. But if I could have it my way, I would probably fight till I get after this fight, go for the belt, defend it a couple of times, show I ain't a fluke that I got the belt, defend it a couple of times, and then go pro. Honestly, if I had it my way, but I listen to my camp. Whatever they tell me to do, they know more than this. I'm not somebody that knows it all or thinks I'm the toughest. Like at the end of the day, like I listen to what my guys got to say.
Absolutely. And I just interviewed Cole Alexandrian. Also talking highly about your coach, Tom Marcelino. Tell us a little bit about what you've learned from Tommy and how much of his leadership and his role as your coach has influenced you.
I've learned so much from Tommy, and not even just on fighting, just on the human being. He's a great man, has a good soul. Um, every submission that I know is because of him. Every submission that I know is because of him. He's a great teacher. Like he knows how to explain something to me where I understand it naturally. Like he'll say, like you could tell a dog sit and the dog won't sit because somebody else could tell the same dog sit and this dog will sit. He tells me stuff and shows me stuff, and I just grasp the concept in 2.2 seconds. Like I grasp it immediately. And he knows a lot of stuff, but he just teaches me and shows me stuff like what would work for me. As he sees me, he has like a great IQ for fighting. Like this one time we were training, and I kept getting side control on this guy, and I don't know what to do. Like I said, I'm a ground and pound. I'm just gonna pound it out. But after I kept getting side control and not knowing what to do, Tommy showed me the arm bar that I could do. And as soon as he showed me it, I tapped out like 3-4 dudes back to back. And Tommy was like, it was just crazy. Tommy was like, yo, you learned that in 2 seconds. See, look, that's a position that I really get a lot of dudes in. So
awesome. So he does a pretty good job of kind of putting you in that right position and to succeed.
Facts.
That's awesome. Ricardo, what does it feel like when you step in that cage and you got that crowd going roaring and super loud and cheering for you? What is it like? What kind of feeling does that give you when you step in that cage?
I ain't gonna lie, the feeling is so ultimate. Like I'm grateful, I'm blessed that my city's behind me. It's like an adrenaline rush. Really, it's high adrenaline rush, and it's crazy because I compare it to the streets. Like, from high school when you're getting ready to have a fight, everybody's outside, they want to watch the fight. And then from the streets, if I'm in a club or in a bar, everybody wants to see who I'm beating up, and then my guys or people are cheering for me to win or beat them up. I really compare it to, like, I times that by 10 because it's a whole crowd, and it's not just people that know me. It's some people that don't even know me that just like how I fight, want to see me win. It's like I'm forever grateful, and I'm amazed every time I go out there and hear people cheering for me. It's a great feeling. It's a great feeling.
What would you say for some young kids that are finding themselves on the street, getting in trouble? What some advice you would give them?
I swear, if I tell the youngest now, like, get out the streets, go. You got so much anger, you want to fight, you want to be a tough guy. Go in the ring and show people you're tough. That shows you're tough, because the streets don't really make tough guys. They make dumb guys. You go to jail, lose your life. It's a lose-lose situation all the way in America. So the streets is dead at the end of the day. You ain't getting nothing out of that. I would tell them, go to boxing, go to jiu-jitsu, and channel that energy into something positive the way I'm doing it. And don't go do what I did.
Awesome. What's something about you that nobody knows but you would like to share with everyone?
Something about me that nobody knows.
I've had black belts who can't ride bikes. I've had a boxer who was afraid of sponges. It could be anything.
Okay, something that nobody knows. I'm trying to think of something that, like, probably nobody knows. I don't know if I said this in one of my interviews though before. I think I did. Oh, nobody knows I like country music.
Okay, you're a big country fan. Who's your top group singer?
I can't even tell you who would be my favorite, because growing up, my grandma would listen to country music, but I would listen to it. But I like, when no one's around me, like, I'll go watch TV and put the country hits on, and
Okay.
just listen to country music. So I really can't tell you his name.
You just like the music and the is it like a low key vibe, like just kind of chill?
Yeah, I definitely like country music.
Awesome. Country fan. You can't go wrong with a little bit of country, that's for sure.
You can't.
Awesome. What can we expect from you inside the cage against Austin Shoop?
You can expect me to bring it to him. I'm full fledged. I'm full fledged. Once I see what's going on, I'm bringing them to him. I'm not playing. I'm not waiting for nothing. Once I see how it's flowing, I'm bringing it to him. We not gonna be standing around for hours, for minutes. We gonna get down to business. We not gonna be walking around the cage. It ain't gonna be the filling out process is gonna be short term.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to this fight as well. Tell us prediction. You have a thought prediction of how you believe it's going to end?
I believe it's going. I believe it's going for a knockout. I'm going for a knockout.
Knockout, awesome. Round or is just leave it at knockout?
I'm gonna leave it at knockout. I'm gonna be modest right now. I'm gonna leave it at a knockout.
All right. Awesome. I'm looking forward to this. I think this is a great matchup, and it's definitely going to be a banger between you two. Anyone you want to shout out? Anyone you want to recognize and throw out your Instagram handle for those who want to follow your career as it rises?
Yeah, I want to shout out my bro Tommy Marcelino. I want to shout out Kyle Shots Boxing. I want to shout out my boy Cole. You know, we gonna win these fights and bring them back to Renzo Gracie. Shout out to BJ. Shout out to Bruno. Shout out to Richie, and shout out everybody that support me. And shout out you, bro, Kyle. Appreciate you having me on your show. Appreciate the love and support you're giving me.
I appreciate you coming on. It's always a pleasure chatting with you, and becoming a big fan of you. Seeing you get in there and put in that work.
Facts, super facts. Appreciate it.
Well, Ricardo, best of luck. Your Instagram handle. How can people follow you?
Yeah, follow me at Porsche Chuck Ruck.
Awesome.
RSCHETRUCKRUK. Hut.
Awesome. Best of luck. Looking forward to seeing you get in that cage and putting on a show for the fans at the Armory. And ladies and gentlemen, like I said, for those who want to watch it, it will be streaming live, I believe, on Fight TV. But we'll get more details as things get closer to the fight. Right now, it's at the Armory on Saturday, June 26th. Catchweight fight at 185 pounds. Ricardo Henderson versus Austin Shoop. It's going to be a great fight. Tune in. This is the Carroll's Corner MMA podcast, and we're signing off.
Peace.